Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. And hang on to your seats. We're going for a ride. Hi, everyone. Today, I'm returning to a band I've enjoyed in the past. That is Guns N' Roses. Well, the two songs that I remember off the top of my head are Sweet Child of Mine and November Rain. I enjoyed each of them. So today, I'm going to be listening to Welcome to the Jungle. Welcome to the Jungle featured as the opening track on their debut album, Appetite for Destruction, in 1987. So this is basically the first time the world heard them. Kind of their opening track, debut album. All right, I'll keep that in mind. In 2009, Welcome to the Jungle was named the greatest hard rock song of all time by VH1. Okay. In 2021, Rolling Stone listed Welcome to the Jungle at 491 on their 500 greatest songs of all time list. According to Slash, the song was written in approximately 3 hours. Rose claims the lyrics were inspired by an encounter he and a friend had with a homeless man while they were coming out of a bus into New York. Trying to put a scare into the young runaways, the man yelled at them, "You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die." I could kind of hear maybe a little reference to that experience because we have at the very beginning we have this like a vehicle arriving, coming to a stop, maybe a bus. Brakes squeaking. And then with the siren sound, it certainly gives a city jungle vibe. So I can't figure out if this is supposed to be more more intensely sexually charged, or perhaps more pushing towards drugs and that sort of lifestyle. It's so blended together. Some of these phrases and lines could be one or the other, and I suppose that might be the point. The idea being that, okay, you're not going to be too explicit, although you're being incredibly explicit in many ways, but there's really no specific thing that you can nail down and say, oh, it's definitely this, or oh, it's definitely that. At least my first time hearing it. And at the same time, it is a very charged piece of music. It's got a lot of energy, and it captures the sort of, well, when I think of jungle, I don't actually first think of the creatures living in the jungle, strangely. I think of the environment in which the creatures live. This really kind of, it says welcome to the jungle, but it's immediately pushing us towards the creatures or the people living there and making their life there. And it's their life and their activities. And it makes it, I say creatures because my point is that this song really intentionally drives towards that sort of animalistic, primal instinct feel of, you know, we are animals in a jungle, and we have our instincts and we have our drive, and we also have habits and desires, and welcome to the jungle. I almost expected it to say welcome to my jungle, because it is sung as you know, somebody who really knows the way around, welcoming somebody new, or somebody at least they haven't seen in their part of the jungle, so to speak. So it uses these metaphors and this imagery in the text to be incredibly suggestive, and at the same time not too specific. And it's an interesting balance to notice. And then, of course, the music plays into it as well. The music is high energy, hard driving, at the same time, really quite sensual. And it gives it this sort of, you know, late city night, bright lights, back rooms feel to, and it's like I can picture it so vividly simply because the music is kind of painting the picture for me. And in that way, they've done a great job really bringing this idea to life, this idea of welcome to the jungle, and the city is the jungle. It's very much a city jungle, as I said at the very beginning. You know, you hear the bus, you hear a sort of acknowledgement of the way in which this piece was inspired. The bus stopping, and then you hear a siren, so it's definitely the city. And well, that siren can be more than just the city. It can be another use of the word siren, can't it? Drums are really powerful part of this, even in this guitar solo section. Sort of galloping, and you can imagine fireworks.
You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die.
pretty intense. And one other thing that I noticed lyrically and musically is this stuttering moment, watch it bring you to your knees. And I remember the first time I encountered that sort of stuttering habit back when I was doing the series with Carl about the history of rock music, and the first time I was introduced to that, and it came across as so adolescent and hesitant and no, like I just don't quite. Here it takes on a whole different personality. It's almost like it's implying that you are weak in the knees. Watch it bring you to your watch it bring you to your knees, and it's like you get that sort of jelly kneed feel. So this is the song the world first heard when they put their debut album on the turntable and started listening, and I have to say it makes you sit up and pay attention. That was their introduction to Axl Rose's voice in the band and everything, and it's everything about it, from his voice to the drums to the guitar, all the blend and mix of everything is high energy, intense, and passionate. Well, I mentioned partway through this idea of, is it more sexually charged, or is it more kind of digging into the idea of a drug lifestyle? And I don't think that it has to be one or the other. And it could be both or it could be neither. But the idea that there is this sort of question of what really is it talking about? At least to me, perhaps there are certain phrases in here that might be code for something or else that I'm missing, because again, I'm kind of far removed from that era. But as I listen to it, what I get is it is highly charged with a sort of primal energy and passion. And as much as it talks about, you're going to die, or it gets worse here every day. Those are little phrases that just come through almost as a celebration, almost as if I love this place and I love the experience of being here, and I love the fact that I know my way around. I feel a sort of power and competence and confidence. This is my territory. This is my domain. I think of it as kind of like, if we're thinking of literally the jungle, this would be maybe the tiger in the jungle, the voice of the tiger. It's the sort of, this is not some hunted creature, or at least not a constantly hunted creature. This is a creature who really owns his place in this ecosystem. And the confidence and the zest and the enthusiasm is just oozing out of every note in this piece. That's what I feel when as I listen to this for the first time. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. And hang on to your seats. We're going for a ride. And so my exploration of Guns N' Roses continues. That was Welcome to the Jungle. There will be more coming. I'll see you soon.